And good morning to everybody who are joining me live for today's Travel Marketeering Saturday session. My name is Joshua Harrell, and I am the Chief Revenue Officer for World Via Travel Network. What does a Chief Revenue Officer do? Probably a lot like you. I am responsible for marketing, sales, and service delivery. Sound familiar? So you too are probably a chief revenue officer for your business, especially if you're the business owner. But for today, we are really tucking into being travel marketeers. So what is travel marketeering? Well, marketeering is a real term. This is not just something that I made up. Marketeering is selling products and services through systems. So get the engineering take on that, marketeering. So what we do at WorldVia and what I love to talk about is travel marketeering. So let's create those systems for marketing your travel business. This is what we know, this is what we love, and this is not only do I think we exude travel marketeering, we're surrounded by very successful independent agency owners and advisors within our network who I am very fortunate to get to work with, and I get to see travel marketeering in action, or they share their journey through building their business. And part of that is how did they create the systems to help them manage their entire business? Because most travel business owners are not just doing marketing. They're not just doing selling, they're doing operations, they're doing accounting, they're doing everything. So what happens in a lot of business situations, it could be in any type of business, but a solopreneur, that independent business owner or individual business owner, does a little bit of marketing and then has to take their feet off the gas to go do something else. Or they're so good at the marketing that they're so busy with their sales, then all of a sudden that kind of tapers off. And then they got to do the marketing again. But creating a system, you have either the discipline, you create the discipline, the structure around yourself and how you manage your marketing, or if you have a team, you've tapped your team in to assist with that. But it's a system. So when something is a little bit off, you can tweak it, make it a little better. And when something is really good, you tweak that and you turn it all the way up. You don't just tweak it, you turn it all the way up. So that is the whole point of marketeering, and specifically what we're going to be talking about is travel marketeering. Now, in today's session, so every session each week, most Saturdays I am here. I realized that I was not here last Saturday, and Zoom kept kicking out email invitations. I apologize, but I am here most Saturdays, and we talk about a lot of different subjects. So we're talking about some of the same themes. Some topics we're going to go really deep on. Some we might just graze on, and some will just keep on unpacking over time. Now, through the session, we only have the Q&A open, no chat open. So if you want to chat with me, if you want to give me a travel marketeering, kind of like an amen, you can use the Q&A. I'd love to see it. But also, if you have questions, drop your questions in, and I'm going to answer them throughout. And again, thank you, Haley and Daniela and Christine, for telling me, hey, your sound is not on. Rookie mistake. But you chat with me there, but ask questions. And today's session is all about, I'm going to get the title. I have to look down for the title. Unlocking the potential of blog content to conquer your market. Wow. Big promise there. One thing I want to know, just drop in the Q&A, how many of you blog? and in the same, or have a blog on your site, and in the same post, tell me how many times you publish to your blog each month. And I'm not going to ring the Game of Thrones bell of shame. If it's zero on average, I'm okay. I just kind of want to get a gauge of that. So drop that in the Q&A. We'll talk about it. But let's back up a little bit and let's talk about what blog content, why blog content? Why is that even important? Okay. And that you hear that all the time. You got to build a website, you got to do a blog. Build a website, you got to do a blog. Why is that? Well, first, having a website you is it's table stakes. You have to have a website in today's world. If you do not have a website, how do people even find out about you? They might, yes, you can have a Facebook page. That's true. But that only goes so far. You need to have your homestead on the World Wide Web, right? You need to have this is my patch of land, okay? And if you want to know more about me, you got to come to my patch of land. What most websites are going to consist of an about page, my services, what do I do? And they're going to have the contact page. Those are key spots, pieces of content on your website. Okay. But if your website is, and I'm acting this out instead of doing PowerPoints, okay? So it's interpretive travel marketeering. What do you think about that? Interpretive travel marketeering. So, so if this is your website, your blog is what expands your patch. It expands it. You're taking over more and more space on the internet. Why do you want to do that? You want to increase your discoverability. And the number one visitor to any website is going to be Google. It's going to be Google. Google sends what I like to call, and maybe they call it that too. I don't know. I've just always called it, they send spiders, internet spiders out to your website and to other websites too, meaning social media. So, don't get me wrong, we're really focused around blog right here in today's session. But they send these internet spiders out. It sounds like sci-fi, right? These internet spiders go and they're crawling your website. They're like, let me see, is there anything new going on here, right? And then every single hyperlink, any clickable text on your site, they're saying, oh, this is important to this website's experience. I've got to go down that. I've got to click that link and I've got to go and find what pages are connected to that. Oh, does it keep me on the website? Does it send me to pages within the website that then send me to other pages? Oh, these spiders are busy. Now, when they're doing that, they're cataloging what they see. Okay, so this website is about this and it references this. You always hear keywords mentioned or keyword phrases mentioned. It's grabbing those. It says, oh, this keyword phrase is mentioned several times, and sometimes it's even a header on this page. Oh, that's really important to this site. So it keeps building this profile of your website. And then when people are searching for content or they're asking a question on Google or even Alexa or Google Home, whatever, or Siri, uh, they're those little internet spiders and all the data they've collected then says when a user asks the question with whatever platform they're on, then they say, well, we think this website is about this and will answer your question. So then Google, with all its superpowers, is going to watch and see if the person that searched for a topic and then was served up your site and they clicked on your site through the Google search engine results page, if Google knows that you stayed on that website for even just a little amount of time. You didn't just like go and then bounce away. That's a bounce. When you go and you're only there for a few seconds, you're like, this is not what I'm looking for, right? But you stay for a little bit. It could be a minute. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 45 minutes. But Google is scoring you based on that. And then is saying the next time somebody asks a question like this person, then this is probably the site that is going to serve their user because their interest is with the user. So they want to make sure that people don't say, oh, I just can't be bothered to Google anymore. I don't get my answers, right? So that's why they're going through this process. So spiders, and then they're scoring you, scoring you. So all of this is going on. So as you expand your patch on the internet, then you're creating more chances for discoverability. You are, and that's that enhanced SEO, right? You're the search engine optimization. You're creating more ways for people to enter your website and also for them to get the answers that they need. You're improving your uh, the user experience because if they come to your site and that you see that you're about this, um, they want to know more. So they want to spend more time on your website. So if you think about user experience more in not necessarily your potential customer, but the user of your website. Are they having a good experience? Are they finding what they need? Are they staying a little bit longer so Google knows, aha, this is the site I need to send people to? And then you're reinforcing and building and reinforcing your brand authority. So all of that is really where the blog comes in. The blog is the more it's the way that you keep on. You can add more pages to your website. When you add to your blog, you are adding pages, but I try to keep those separate. Pages are the pages on my site that are permanent. They're going to be there for a while. Maybe I built my site with those pages in mind. This I wanted to have an about page. I wanted to have a services page. I wanted to have a contact me page. Those are the things that those are my pages. But my blog is where I take the subjects that are important to my business and important to building that brand authority. That's where I put that content. Okay. So I keep that separate. Website experience in terms of making sure that you have all the information that you need on your site. That I look at pages, I call those pages. But your blog is where you really bring the story to life. Now, I want you to have a great story across your website all the time. But when we think about blogs, let's think about single pieces of content initially. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Now, I'm going to pop over to the chat because I just want to make sure that I clear some of these where you guys were telling me that it didn't have audio, just so I don't miss out. And I want to see how many of you are blogging on a regular basis. So let's see. Let's see. Anne-Marie says yes. Christine says yes. Deborah says yes. Oh, I love all these yeses. This is a very good story here. Let's see. Deborah said, I do not have a blog yet. Okay. And Alicia said, no blog, need to start. I'm glad that you guys have that on your list. And Angela says, I have a blog and post 3 times per week. Okay, so here I'm throwing some gold stars your way, Angela. Super, super impressive. Very, very excited about that. So let's talk about maybe how you can enhance your blog and create more of a structured plan with it. Maybe you do have one, so I'm not gonna, I shouldn't have assumed that. But I hope what I talk about today will make it even easier for you to create content in a very structured way, and maybe increase the SEO and again, search engine optimization and that user experience. So gonna see if we can give you some tips there. And let's see, Althea said, I'm working on my new website with Sites. And so Sites is the World Via Pro product that we have for our members, the members of our network. And it's brand new. So I'm very excited that Althea is working on that. And it has a blog built in. So she's going to have that. Great, great, great. Daniela said, I create blogs monthly. You know what? Here's a bag of gold stars because monthly is still very good. A lot of people will go in waves with their blog, or they just don't even start it because where to start, right? So we're going to talk about that. But monthly, I'm very, very happy with that. Um, and Christine said, shamefully, I have no blog set up on my awful website. Wow. Just because I know Christine, I just have to say, anytime I talk to Christine, she says, I'm going to just wrap this up in a nutshell. Her marketing just stinks. But I know she's making moves to change that. So, anyway, that is Christine's her story all the time. Yet she is super busy, and I got to spend some time with her at Disneyland last month, and I don't know what we were waiting in the queue for something, and she was talking about creating content and that she just needs to do it. She needs her website, is awful, whatever. And but then she riffs off and starts telling me about this road trip that she's on, that she had been on, and this was a part of it. And I am just entranced with her stories, her storytelling ability, her knowledge, her deep knowledge of so many different destinations. I'm like, forget the blog. Just let's do a podcast, just record some of these stories. Start there and then build your blog because she's got it. It's all in there. But she is going to work on her blog. She said she's got a ton of blog posts to share. I love it. Deborah has a question here. If I I already have my own website, can I use the training and help from World Via to set it up the way I want it? Absolutely. What Deborah, just so you know, for our travel marketeering sessions, we purposely have this open to the world. So we have our members who join the sessions or watch the sessions. We also have people who maybe will eventually join our network, and we even have some of our supplier partners. So I try to give you just great advice and guidance on travel marketeering over all the different subjects. And I use tools that everyone has access to or everyone could have access to. So as a member of World Via Travel Network, you get a lot of tools already built in, and I'll reference those along the way. And of course, those are the ones that we have put a lot of energy towards to make sure that they're really good for travel marketeering. But everything I show you is applicable. And you can use the training and you can use some of the tools to do whatever you need to do on your website. So I will always try to speak to everyone because at the end of the day, if we're all doing great travel marketeering, uh, we're going to have a lot of business collectively, and there is plenty of business to be had out there. So very, 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 yes, 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 you can use, yes. And then Karen said, I am starting soon. So I love that everybody who says no, they don't have a blog they've got it on their radar. Um, and Christine, I think I just spun her up. She said, I like that, a podcast. Yes. Oh, Christine, I hope that everyone leaves with a nugget like that because you definitely need a podcast, and it is so easy to create that right now. But that will be a subject for another day. All right. All right. So what I thought we would do is so no matter where you are in your journey, if you have a blog, if you don't have a blog, if you have a blog and you're publishing on a regular basis, or you have a blog and you're not publishing on a regular basis, um, I want to really do it from scratch, and I want to do it live with you. So, and I do it live with you. That sounds very strange. Sorry, I just needed to pop over and make sure screen was right. No, I want to go through the process of if I were building a blog and a content strategy. So, and through this, I think everybody, no matter where you are in your journey, will find something that should spark an aha moment. And if this is your first time joining a travel marketing session live, love, love, love at the very end of our time together, I will ask you, what did we talk about today that you're going to action in the next 7 days? And I find that to be extremely rewarding uh, to hear that people at all different experience levels are taking something away that they can action within the next 7 days. That is my goal. I will feel like I'm winning if that is the case. Now, I'm gonna ask somebody, any one of you, I want to share a couple of links for things. And unfortunately, I can't add a question. So I just need to have somebody just type in the Q&A, send me the links, because once they put it, I'll type the answer and it will have these links for where I'm going to be going. Most of these you can get to, but okay, there we go. Oh, there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I got them. Hold on. So if everybody wants to look at Carol's question, I am just dropping in links. We're going to use Chat GPT. Isn't that the thing that everybody talks about? Um, so we're going to use ChatGPT, and we're going to use an app that I love called Grammarly. There's a free version for both of these. For ChatGPT, the free version is absolutely fine. For Grammarly, the free version is just fine. I do have the paid version of Grammarly because I use it so much, and I'm going to show you how I use it. But I wanted to make sure you had those links so when I share my screen, you can also follow along or do your own exploration while we're talking. But I thought let's start with I want to have a blog. So it doesn't matter what blog platform you're on, what website platform you're on. Um, this has nothing to do with the price of tea. Like this is just we're creating a blog. So assuming you have the outlet for the blog, or you will, this is the work that everybody needs to do. So I wanted to pick a topic for my blog. And this is going to be maybe the cornerstone of my business, or it could be all of my business. But I think you'll find as we go down this exercise, I think you'll find that I picked a good topic. So, and also for anybody who doesn't know me, I am not a travel advisor. And I'm also not well traveled. So I'm going to just put that out there. I learn from everyone else. So I just want to preface that. And I'm not really good at geography either. I'm just saying, being very, very transparent here. But I have been to Ireland. I've only been to Ireland once. I did a few places. I'm not an expert at it. It's not something I study at all. But I thought, let's let's say that my agency is focused on Ireland and Northern Ireland. Okay. So let's just say that. And let's just say that I am a terrible writer. Okay. And I'm also not creative. Does that sound like many people? At least they say they're not creative, yet I find most people to be extremely creative. All right. So you can do this with me. We're going to say Ireland and Northern Ireland. Um, and that's basically the core topic. Okay. So in our approach to content marketing, you want to establish your core topic. And I do want to say that you could have core topics. So many of you might have maybe a couple of destinations that are or types of travel that you specialize in. And I would look at each one of those specialties as core topic. Now, if you specialize in family travel with families that have a family member with disabilities, that's your core topic. But then you'll have maybe destinations or age groups that the person within the family that has disabilities, or just there's ways to kind of break down that overarching core topic. But I'm trying to get to talking about pillar content. And pillar content, you start with your core topic, and then you create several subtopics that help drill down that core topic. So my core topic in today's exercise is Ireland, Northern Ireland. Okay. And I'm not sure where I want to go with my pillar content, um, or my pillar pages that are more, they're drilling down on that main topic, a little more meatier, right? And from there, I can then create supporting content, which could be maybe smaller blogs. It could be photo albums on Facebook. It could be micro blogging on X, which used to be Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Sorry, I was losing it, or even TikTok, right? Or podcasts, right? Or videos. Gosh, I completely forgot about videos. How did I forget about videos? I love videos. So creating, identifying a core topic, then your pillar content that are the subcategories of your core topic, and then supporting content. So you're creating this web for those Google spiders to crawl around in. But the the purpose of this, defining the structure, is when you build the web, then you have control. If Google is bouncing around those spiders, they're hitting walls. There's no place for them to go. There's no way for them to go deeper in a topic. That's the same as anyone visiting your site or finding your site and trying to explore it. They're hitting those walls. Okay. So by creating this web that's structured based on what you want to focus on, the story that you want to tell, the people that you want to attract, you create the web to capture gently capture your future customers and truly, when it comes down to it, build your audience. Because as we all know, not everyone is ready to buy the moment they're searching. So we need our website to be our number one salesperson, always bringing people in at different stages of their buyer's journey. So whether they're just trying to research a topic, or identify if there's somebody out there that is an expert in what they're interested in. Um, we're capturing those people, and those people who are so ready to buy and they see how much of an authority you are on this topic. It's your sales cycle will get so much smaller because they're like, this person's the expert. Deborah is the expert on this. Okay. So I'm gonna buy from her. All right. So let's get into it. So guys, the core topic is Ireland, Northern Ireland. And if you said that was your niche to me, I'd be like, what? What specifically, right? So here we want to keep our niche in mind. We definitely want to keep our niche in mind. But sometimes our niches are not what people search for. So I might want to plan a family vacation to Ireland, but I might not necessarily search for family vacations in Ireland. I might just be searching for places to visit in Ireland. So keep your niche in mind, and it might fit into some of these pillar pages and the supporting content. But let's go a little bit broad for our core topic. Okay. So without further ado, I feel like I've circled the plane a lot before I've landed, or circled the airport. All right, I'm going to share. I'm going to go over to Chat GPT. That's where we're going to start. And why Chat GPT? Well, it's using AI, and the the thing with it is, and I am a writer. I like writing. I like writing blogs. I like writing song lyrics. I like to write, and um, I like words. I do. Uh, when I was would when I was first asked about using AI, I was like, well, yeah, you'd use it, but you still need to personalize it. I've always said that. Well, what I have found in using ChatGPT or other AI tools is it gives me inspiration for things that I would not have thought of. And yes, I'm going to personalize it. I'm going to customize it. I'm going to make sure that it's in my voice. Um, but it gives me, sometimes I tell stories and I do a really good job at the start, and I do a really good at the middle, and then I fall apart on the end. Or it's the start and the end I'm good at, and the middle I'm just awful at. So when I'm writing, I use tools, AI tools, to help me formulate my thoughts. It's also helpful when I'm writing something that I've never done before, right? Um, so it could be, creating a blog content marketing plan. Okay, I ask AI to give me a plan, and it gives me a plan. Now, it might not be fully fleshed out, but it gives me a structure that then I can fill in the blanks or I can edit. So that's how I use it. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So first off, I want to do just a basic, again, I've been to Ireland. I did not go to Northern Ireland. I did not go to all of the places in Ireland. I was only there for a few days, and then we went to Scotland, and then we went to England. So I only know a few places. So I need some help. Now, yes, I can Google, but let's see what AI gives me. Again, this might not be print and go. This might be something that I have to edit, or it may not give me what I need and I need to go and do research on my own. But I think this is a great starting place for most people. So, what am I going to ask uh, ChatGPT? And if I would love to know in the Q&A if any of you have not used ChatGPT. It's again, no judgment because I'm fairly new with it. I use a lot of AI tools that we've built. But the fact that it is free and easy, um, I'm starting to play with it a lot more. So yes, a few of you, Deborah, Karen, thank you for sharing. All right, we're going to do this together, and I hope that your mind is blown. And Carol says she used Copilot. That's another AI tool. All right. So let's go over here. And I find the more thorough your chat prompt in Chat GPT or any of the AI tools, the better output you get. So I'm going to say, what are the uh, best destinations in Ireland and Northern Ireland? All right. Oops. Not what are the best destinations? I need to say what are the best destinations to visit in Ireland. I'm sure it would have figured it out, but I have learned that the more I can give it, the better I get. So let's see what we get. I haven't done this before, so I don't know what I'm going to get here. Oh, did anybody just get excited? I just got excited. Okay, so it's given me a list. It's given me some highlights. Why visit? Woo, this is great. So for Ireland, I've got Dublin, Cliffs of Moher, more. All right, pronunciation. Galway. Now I have been to the Cliffs and I have been to Galway. Ring of Kerry, Belfast. Which that's interesting because okay. Uh, Belfast is in Northern Ireland. So Killarney National Park, Cork, and then Northern Ireland, we've got Giant's Causeway, Belfast. So it had a little wobble there. Derry, Londonderry, the Mourne Mountains, Carrick, Arede, Rope Bridge, okay, and Bushmills and Old Bushmills Distillery and the Dark Hedges. Okay. I obviously don't know all of those places, but if I said I wanted to focus on Ireland and Northern Ireland, and that's my core topic, I just now identified destinations, some cities, some are tourist destinations that can be my pillar pages. So these are the supporting content, pieces of content on my site that are supporting that overarching core topic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Okay, so I think this is great. Now, I can now create a strategy map or plan of which of these topics do I want to cover and by when, um, and I can start to divide and conquer. Now, once I have my pillar content, which in this case, since I am focused, my core topic is Ireland, Northern Ireland, these destinations are perfect pillars for me because they're places that obviously people search or talk about online. That's what ChatGPT is bringing that information together for me. So the probability of people searching for this as or these destinations as searches in and of themselves pretty high. So I feel pretty good about that. And they're broad enough that I can then create supporting content, other blog posts, microblogging on social media or images or a podcast episode or a video, um, I can create multiples. I could create a whole universe just around one of these pillars. Dublin, in and of itself, is one that you could go in so many different directions. There's so much to cover, um, places to eat, things to do in Dublin, um, uh, some of the history that maybe you find interesting, that you think that your audience would find interesting. I mean, right here, it's now starting to structure the way that you would put together your content plan around your core topic. And through this, we can, through ChatGPT, we could also start to plug in uh, write a blog for me, which I haven't actually done writing a blog with ChatGPT, although I know you can. I have used Grammarly, so we're going to pop over there because I'll show you how I use Grammarly specifically for helping me write better. But I want to, before we leave ChatGPT, and we're going to keep popping back to this, um, I want to show you something else. Just like I said, and I know I can, well, I guess I'll just do this. So you can just keep on having a conversation with ChatGPT. So we're just going to go down and we're going to talk to our bot here. And now I want to say, because maybe I've never created a content marketing plan. Yeah. Does it sound familiar? So maybe I need some guidance. Like what I know I need to map all this stuff out, but give me some inspiration on how I need to approach this. So let's ask it to create a content marketing plan for a travel agency who oops, that focuses on selling vacations to Ireland and Northern Ireland. Okay. So think about the question. Let's see. Uh, Sorry, my Grammarly just popped up and said, you need to not use so many words. Sells vacations to Ireland. Uh, but think about what you would say about your business. Maybe you're focused on theme parks. So create a content marketing plan for a travel agency that sells Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando theme parks. Uh, just see what comes back. You're not, it's not set in stone. You don't have to use it, but type it in and see what you get. So let's see what we get. I don't know what I'm going to get because I haven't done this test. This, as I was driving in, I was like, what can I pick on that I know a touch about, but I don't know enough about. So this is me I'm the CMO, I'm the chief marketing officer of this agency, and I have been tasked with creating a content marketing strategy for an agency that sells vacations to Ireland and Northern Ireland. All right, let's see what we get. All right. So we've got define your target audience. Every single episode of Travel Marketeering, we talk about you gotta identify who your target audience is. Set clear objectives. This, don't assume when you create a blog that you're going to get a million visitors after you publish. Those of you who have published your blog know very well that it takes a while before you start to see people on those pages. And how do you see if they're on those pages? Depending on your or your website platform, you might be able to actually see the number of visitors on the specific page, but you can also connect your site to Google Analytics, and then you can see where are people visiting within my site, and it will show you the blog pages. And when it's good, and I'm telling you, I am not blowing smoke here. When I tell you about creating this the pillar content and using this core pillar supporting content strategy, creating the web for those spiders, I know it works. I know it works. I can look at a website that I have built and I can see how many people have come through the front door, which is the main page of my website, and I can see how many people come through the side door, which would be the different blog, the pillar pages or the supporting content, right? I can see where they've come from. And what I have seen in most scenarios is that the people that come through the blog content versus the front door are the ones that stay on the site longer. They stay on that page longer. And if done correctly, they go and visit other pages on the site. So those people are more engaged, and I have more of an opportunity to convert them into leads and then customers. So I've seen it over and over again. So trust me, this is all of this works. But coming back to ChatGPT coming up with my content strategy or my blog strategy. So here, I think this is the thing that would be most helpful is the content types. Okay, so here it says for blog posts, travel guides, itineraries, cultural insights, local cuisine, adventure activities in Ireland and Northern Ireland. I think that could apply for every single destination out there. But now, if I drop in one of those destinations that I just hit, Dublin, the cliffs of Moher, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm going to be mortified if anybody's like, that is not how you pronounce it, but for some reason I'm tripping over that. Um, but if I took all of those or all of these blog post ideas and attached it to a destination, I've got one, two, three, four, five blog posts that I could write right out of the beginning, or I could get AI content generator to help me with it. You see where I'm going with this? Now, the cliffs, I'm not going to have cultural insights, but I guess this would fall under cultural insights. I could have the history of it, right? And what maybe any special events that happened there. But anyway, this blog post. So now it's giving me video ideas, destination highlights, customer testimonial, virtual tours, and travel tips. I mean, none of this should be shocking. But what I'd like to point out is if I didn't know where to start, in 2 minutes, I have a place to start. And I think that is terribly helpful. Now, you still have to find the time to do this, but we're doing this in an hour and a half session on a Saturday. You could create your entire blog content strategy plan. You could create it all in an hour and a half. Then through what we're going to do, I think you can see that you could probably knock out a few pieces of pillar content and supporting content in the same 90 minutes. Okay. So just use this as inspiration, spark the ideas and kind of structure your plan. Maybe you create a spreadsheet and you take your pillar topics and then or your pillar topics, and then across the top you put your different types of blog posts that we've outlined here, your videos. It even has infographics here, ebooks, social media posts. You can do all of that kind of going across the top of your spreadsheet. And then some of your pillar topics, you might not hit any of these, and you can just block those out, but you now have a little bit of a structure to work with. So I think that would be extremely helpful. And if you're, Christine, I'm going to pick on you because you're so good at social media in taking photos everywhere you go. Again, going back to being in the queue in California Adventures where we were. Not only was she telling me great stories, but she whipped out her phone and she was showing me pictures of things I didn't even know existed. And this was all a road trip within the United States. Okay. So today, she might not be able to sit down and either write or record her story about a destination, but she's got the photos that she can create the photo albums for, which that's a part of the supporting content. She can put those albums or those photos into a blog post and just say photos from XYZ park in Utah. I'm just saying that's still content, okay? And it can still tick the box on a particular pillar that she has, but then she can fill in with more later. So what do you have at the ready? Sometimes it's personal photos. Sometimes it's images from suppliers and what they provide in their media platforms. But there's some things you can get your hands on right away. So when we talk about the next 7 days, I think you can definitely create your content strategy because we're doing it right here. You could definitely do that, but assessing what you already have access to and prioritizing that just so you can start getting that content up on your site, that's next 7 days. You can definitely tackle that. Well, again, what I'm going to show you here is going to make all of this super, super easy when you're thinking in terms of pillar content. Let me just pop over. I want to make sure I asked everybody about have they used ChatGPT, and I got a lot of answers. So I need to clear that so I can see what other questions we have. Hold on, don't you love a live broadcast? I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're having a good time and you're drinking your coffee and just I'm really grateful that you're here. And then if you are watching this on demand on our YouTube channel, uh, hello to you. And I'm sorry I didn't even welcome you. We had those technical difficulties in the beginning. I just didn't get to you. But thank you for joining. And guys, those of you who are on live, if you want to go back and watch this, or if you want to watch any of the travel marketing sessions, just go to YouTube, go search World Via Travel Network. You will find our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. And you'll see a playlist of all the travel marketing sessions. Plus, you'll see some other great shows there and like all over the place, like. And if you are in any travel advisor communities, it wouldn't hurt to mention that you watched a travel marketeering Saturday session. I'm just saying. Let's see here. I just want to make sure I got this. Um, so Carol said, very interesting, a great reason to create a blog. Did not know the blog was so effective. So Carol, I think you're talking about creating the web and expanding your patch. Yeah. I'm glad that you had that moment. And Carol said, I have a lot of personal photos from trips. What is the best way to use these if I currently don't have a blog? I am really glad you asked that question because I specifically was talking about adding those pages to your blog. Um, your blog is your patch on the internet. You control it. You don't control social media. I mean, yes, you control what you post, but how that information gets discovered and you don't really have any control over um, who is consuming that content. And when I say control, if someone is loving your content, right, that's great, but you don't have them in your mix to where you can market to them through email or you have more of that kind of a connection. So you always want to make sure your blog or your website is your place on the internet. But if you don't have a blog set up and you don't have pages on your website that you can add photos to, like a photo gallery, I have found it to be extremely effective to create photo albums on your Facebook page and clearly label those Facebook albums with a title that represents what people would be searching for. So don't use acronyms about for places. Even like I live in Atlanta, we call it the ATL. I'm not gonna if I'm gonna do a whole showcase of photos of Atlanta in the spring, I'm not gonna say ATL in the spring, right? I want to make it very, very clear for anybody that would be searching what this photo album might be about. Okay. So think about it the same way you would creating a blog title. Make sure that uh, it speaks to what the content is, which you're going to deliver. So when they click on that photo album, what are they going to see? And then make sure that you upload photos that deliver on that promise. So if you're doing springtime in Atlanta, then don't have any fall photos. I mean, that's a very basic example, but sometimes we get a little upload happy and even uploading photos that it's not even clear that that what your subject is supposed to be is actually represented in the photo. So I take a lot of selfies. I take a lot of selfies at airports. I'm now trying to make sure that instead of taking a picture inside the airport, I take a picture inside the airport, but where there's a window, where maybe there's a mountain. And airports are not located for the most part in beautiful places, but at least that it looks like I'm not just in any waiting area for to board my plane, right? So just think about that. Evaluate your photos, and your mug zoomed in where we can't see what's behind you is not going to be a great photo for an album in terms of trying to draw your audience in. So there's a time and a place for all of that content. But if you, right now, your question was, if I don't have a blog, a place to put these photos on my website, what can I do with them? Put them in a Facebook album. Okay. And Karen, thank you. She said this information, it was incredibly helpful. Thank you, thank you. All right, well, I'm not done yet, but Karen, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, if you guys have questions as we go along, please drop them in the Q&A. All right, so just moving down the content types, I love this because it makes me think of, oh, I didn't think about that. Infographics, visual representations of travel statistics, packing tips, cultural traditions. Now, infographics, that might sound a little scary, but with the use of Canva, uh, canva.com, there's a free version of that. You can create some really simple graphics based on information that you might want to share. So maybe you don't have a photo of it. Um, Create an infographic. And maybe that's not your bag. Maybe your son or daughter or your cousin or somebody. This is where you can get the whole family, your friend network involved. If there's somebody who they don't have to be a graphic designer, but they could just they could just want to help you out. Ask them to create some things for you. You see it all the time in social media where people are putting quotes up that they've just created on Canva. Think of things that you can share, and it can be based on the destination. Well, it should be based on the destination or the type of travel. Um, it's something just popped and flew into my mind. See, this is live. This is not scripted. But uh, you might want to uh, here's something for the Cayman Islands. Okay, we love the team over at the Cayman Islands Tourism Board, um, but they talk about how there's so many islands within the Cayman Islands, but most people just stop off at Grand Cayman on a cruise and they think that's the Cayman Islands. There is so much more to the Cayman Islands. So, an infographic that I might create for the Cayman Islands would be I could probably find out from their website how obviously I could find out how many islands make up the Cayman Islands, but I could say how many people go to Grand Cayman, what percentage of visitors to the Cayman Islands uh, uh, only go to Grand Cayman, which could maybe you have like a little call to action. So let's talk if you want to explore the rest or something like that, right? It's a graphic, it's imparting information, and you never know how that information will get used. That information could get used in conversations with somebody. within their friend group as they're trying to plan their holidays together. I mean, just think about this list right here is giving me so many ideas of things that I could create, and I could create. I could if I use this as my checklist or my to-do list, I could use this list for every single one of those pillars. Now that the pillars that I had for, at least what Chat GPT gave me, there was some duplication, but we're looking at about 13 different pillars. Now I may trim that down, and I may prioritize which ones I'm going to do. And some of them are not going to have cuisine or cultural topics. So there's going to be some content types will fit for my different pillars, and some won't. But this makes me think how I could take one pillar and break it up into lots of different supporting content. And then from there, turn that into small social posts, small videos. Maybe everything I did in my blog about let's see, the cuisine in Dublin. What food is Dublin known for? Something like that. I can take what I wrote and then I could just shoot a video like this where I'm just talking to camera, and there's a video. Maybe I even embed that in the blog post, making it more more engaging, making the page more engaging. Um, then down below here, just want to move, keep on moving. The content calendar, the frequency, plan to post at least once a week on the blog or several times a week on social media. That is a great strategy. Once a week for the blog, and then break that out into social media posts. That is a great cycle system to be on if you can do it. And how I'll show you you can do it, you could definitely get it done. And then here's some examples of articles. Again, this could inspire me. And then it's giving me ideas for promotion channels. Obviously the website, email marketing. If I do a blog post, why don't I send that blog out or that post out in an email? There you go. Now I've got email marketing going, right? Social media, we talked about that. Maybe even some of your blog content that you create would be perfect for you to do as a boost post on social media, because it's really a comprehensive guide on this particular type or style of travel, right? And you have a strong call to action, either to subscribe to the blog or inquire about a group trip that you've put together. So that's just another way to promote this content. So one blog can have much life in your universe. And I love this. So guys, do the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. But this just, what did I type in? I typed in create a content marketing plan for a travel agency that sells vacations to Ireland and Northern Ireland. I am so inspired by what came out of ChatGPT. I'm not going to use everything, but I'm definitely going to have more. I'll know exactly where to start. I'll have more of a plan. I can form a plan. And because I typed in what are the best destinations to visit in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and then I get essentially 13 destinations. Now I can go and build a blog. Now, if you're a member of World Via Travel Network, we have our content generator, and it is an AI tool that helps you write blogs. It helps you write a lot of things. So everyone has access to that, but everyone has access to these tools that I'm sharing. Again, I'm going to pop over to Grammarly because that's really where I like to write. And again, I'll show you why I do. And I do have a paid version of it. But let's take Galway. And I've got here, let's see what I can get from the Latin Quarter. Okay, so Galway is a pillar of my overall topic, core topic of Ireland, Northern Ireland. So Galway would be a pillar. And let's see if I can create well, let's do a pillar piece first. All right, let's talk about Galway. I don't know why I needed to copy that. But I love the generative AI in Grammarly for writing blog posts. I think I have to refresh this. Hold on. All right, give it just a moment. Sorry, sorry, sorry. All right. So I got the same type of prompt in ChatGPT, and I'm going to say here, write an article, or let's see, a blog post um, about all the fun things um, you can do when visiting Galway in Ireland. Okay, let's see what happens. Fire. Oh, oh, oh. Are you guys getting excited about this? I'm getting very, very excited about this. I'm getting too excited about this. So it pulled in some of those subtopics. Um, let's see. Something that I do like within Grammarly is I can read some of the what it's suggested, and then I can say, oh, make it a little more empathetic. I can change the style. But I'm just kind of breezing through this because I want to show you example of doing this. So I'm using AI to create my blog post. I inserted it into Grammarly. And this is how Grammarly looks when you're typing anything. Like if I had just written all of this from scratch, it starts giving you suggestions. And the way I approach using Grammarly is I will go through each of my suggestions before I read the whole the whole article. Um, because I have a tendency when I'm reading, I bounce around. So this just helps me at least get through some of the suggestions. And because I've used Grammarly enough, I know it knows the things that I love. I love an Oxford comma. If you don't know what an Oxford comma is, it's the comma before and. Some people were taught that you don't have to use the Oxford comma, but I believe in it, so it stands out to me. Uh, oh, and Christine is saying, is that Grammarly the free version? This is not. So I don't know if the generative AI, is in the free version of Grammarly, but I would say we could probably do in ChatGPT, write in a blog post about all the things to see and do in Galway, Ireland. And I bet it's going to give me a similar, uh, you know what? I might just switch over. So this gave me a little more of a listicle. Listicles are great. Look at this. I've So Christine, I don't know if the generative AI in Grammarly is a part of the free version. I am in the paid version, but I'm going to just say I did pretty much the same prompt and I got another article. Now I've got two articles. What am I going to do? This would have taken me a week, a month maybe to write. I have two different articles. I have one that's more of a blog article, and I've got one that's more of a listicle. Listicle being, more bulleted, right? Look at that. So that's pretty exciting. Who's excited about this? I mean, Wanda said, it's nice to see you sharing all the tools I already use. So Wanda, I kudos to you. All right, so what I love about Grammarly and the free version of Grammarly, so let me just talk about this because a lot of people are not confident in their writing. Um, so I use Grammarly for social posts. I use Grammarly for articles, emails sometimes. So what it does is it's not a spell checker. I've caught that it is not good at spell checking, but it makes me a better writer. When I use the word amazing, or if AI uses the word amazing, it'll say amazing is an overly used word. So try fantastic or phenomenal. Okay. So it's teaching me now. I try to not say or even write the word amazing because the Grammarly is constantly teaching me. So you see, it's highlighting different things. So it says Galway often called instead of referred to as. Well, I'm going to accept that change because referred to as sounds way too formal. Um, and then it'll say inconsistent punctuation, especially if you're cutting and pasting content into it. So it's just saying, do you want to update to having consistent punctuation? I just do update all, and that takes care of that. Here it's saying activities you can indulge in, or the word enjoy. I'm going to accept that. I like enjoy. It's saying instead of take a leisurely stroll down Quay Street, I could say take a stroll down. I don't need it leisurely. But if I did like that leisurely, I could just dismiss. So I could dismiss it and it would keep it. So sometimes I want that leisurely word in there. So I can do that. So I always put everything through here before, and I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. Um, let's see. I'm going to just grab everything and I'm going to go to my blog editor. So whatever blog platform you're on, it'll have a different look, feel. This is our site's blog tool. So I'm going to create new post. And oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. I'm going to use this title. I really like this title. I'm going to drop that in there. Got my author. I always have an image. You can use stock images, or if you've got a photo, always put that in. We're not going to worry about that right now because I just want to get the article in. Um, Definitely not going to have palm trees there, so I would create something. And then I'm going to grab the rest of the article. And I would have already gone through the article before I put it in here, and made sure it was what I wanted it to say. So I would have already done that. But we're fast forwarding it a little bit. So whenever you are cutting and pasting into your blog platform or your website, because you might use a Word document to write your copy, or you might use one of these tools, please, 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 always make sure that you go to, I'm in Chrome right now, you go to paste. So I've copied that content. I want to paste it in here, but don't just paste and match style. Why do you do that? Well, because sometimes some of the places you're copying the content from has formatting embedded in it or behind it. And when you post it into your website, it stays hidden. Everything looks fine. But then when you randomly go looking through your website one day, you get to this blog post where you didn't cut paste match style, or sorry, paste match style, and it is blue. The writing is blue, or it's all in bold. So you always want unformatted text to go in here. So here I've got to do some tidying up. So I have to, this is a subheading. So I am going to bold that. I'm going to get rid of these hash marks and bold. And you see what I'm doing? I'm just cleaning it up. And I could have done this already. The bolding I would have to do, or if I wanted to use italics or anything else like that, I would need to do that here, not in Grammarly, but I could have gotten rid of the hash marks. Okay, so I've done my blog article. I could go and do that, grab that listicle that got created too. So let's imagine I've done that already. Um, so another part of your web is as you build your blog articles, you're going to want to connect them where it makes sense. So let's say I've got another article on the Latin Quarter, okay? And you want to go through every single line of your articles and you want to connect them to other pieces of content that you have created within your website. Sometimes it could be maybe you've got a special page for your annual trip that you put together to Galway. Okay. I'm just using it as an example. So you have a call to action and send them there. But if I start to connect every piece of content within my blog sphere, so if I have an article just about the Latin Quarter, so that's supporting content to this pillar page, I am going to highlight it and I'm going to hyperlink to that content. Now, I don't have an existing blog post, but here, and every single one of your blog platforms are going to have this type of ability to link to other pages within your site. But why am I doing this, right? Well, as I'm a reader, um, I am reading your article, da 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 da, and then I get to this Latin Quarter. I'd never heard of this, right? And then, oh, I've got a little bit of a story here, but I know I've used the web long enough. I can see that this is a hyperlink. I'm going to click on this and consume more of your content on the Latin Quarter, right? That is something you should do throughout your website, your pages, and your blog content. Constantly connect to learn more or deeper knowledge on a particular item, right? That's just good websites. And I guarantee you the websites you go to, and you land on, you're reading something and it has a word that you've never heard of before, within the context of that website, right? You're like, what is UCD, whatever, da da da. Um, it's highlighted, or it could even be highlighted and bolded, and then you can click on it and get the definition, or maybe learn more about it. Um, it's a part of the way we use websites. But, and here is where those darn spiders come in. Those darn spiders are trained, they're on a mission that every page they consume, they have to follow every single link on that page. So a page that has a lot of links to other content within your universe, your patch of land on the web, they love it. They absolutely eat it up. And when they eat it up, that means that it boosts your authority on that particular topic. So if someone is searching for the Latin Quarter Galway, and you've got page after page that it's a web that shows signals to Google that this website has deep knowledge about the Latin Quarter in Galway, uh, then it's going to make sure that you get served up, and you're going to stay in that place as long as people who go to these pages are actually getting the information. They're being entertained. There's infotainment there. They're getting videos. They're seeing, Christine could have her blog post, and then she could embed a link to her podcast, so someone could listen to it, or it's a video cast, right? You could have the video there. So it's saying Google, oh, people stay on this website when they search for things. So that's the internal linking within your site. Now there are times when you might want to send somebody to another site. Check out Walt Disney World's website for what's going on next week, something like that. You might want to send them over there. You might want to send them to a third-party site. That's nice. but you're creating your patch of land on the web. Keep them on your patch. Make sure your patch has all the information. Okay. So I'm not as big a fan of you sending people out of your website. There's only certain instances like that Disney one. I could see that being relevant because Disney is going to have a calendar that updates weekly or even daily on things. So you might want to have that as a resource on your site. However, for the most part, you're wanting to make sure that you can connect art pieces of content from your site together. So when I take an article like this, that's all about Galway, then I want to now create articles about supporting content about all of these different items that I see here, because that's going to make my web richer. It's going to make it wider and richer. So this is how I would divide and conquer my content plan, right? So going back to ChatGPT, and what I had first asked was give me basically my pillar topics for my core topic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. So what I would recommend you do is don't go down the rabbit hole for every single one of these out of the gate. I think it will serve you better to make sure that you've got a piece of pillar content for each of these. Dublin, Cliffs, Galway, make sure you hit that. Then create the supporting content after you've hit all of these. And then you can, of course, add pillar content. You can say, oh, but it didn't talk about this, and I love this place, or I love doing this thing. You can you can add to it. You can most definitely can, but I'm just trying to get you there faster. How can you get content on your site faster? Because as a general rule, it takes about 6 months before Google has sent its spiders and then has started serving that content, those links up to its users. So you don't really get the traction on your blog content for a while unless you're doing paid or unless you're driving them with email or social media. So it takes a little while. So if you could cover you got your core topic, but now you've got to have your pillar topics. If you could get all your pillar topics out of the way in one go, then start filling in with your supporting content and then making sure that you create those internal links. Oh, that web is going to be so rich. Okay. Now, I want to show you another thing. And let's just stay in ChatGPT. I would normally do it in Grammarly, or in Content Generator on WorldVia Pro. But I think it will do the same thing. So let's say, let's go back to my article here, my listicle. Um, uh, Let's grab, I don't even know what this is, okay? So I'm going to grab this Galway International Arts Festival. And now maybe I can find a photo that I can use online, or maybe I have been and I have a photo, but I want to create a social post about it. So I am going to say here, create a social post that inspires people to well, hold on, create a social post about the Galway International Arts Festival that inspires people to contact me to learn how I can help them plan their Galway vacation. All right, let's see what we get. I'm going to grab that just in case Grammarly will do it better, but I think it's probably going to be great. Oh my goodness. Look at this. It's got emojis. I don't even use emojis in most of my social posts. What? This is fantastic. Are you ready to immerse yourself in a world of creativity and culture? The Galway International Arts Festival is just around the corner, bringing together spectacular performances, inspiring art, installations, inspiring art installations, and unforgettable experiences, from captivating theater and live music to stunning visual, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I have not read this all the way through, but that sounds a lot more compelling than what most of my social posts would look like. So definitely edit it, uh, to make sure that it is to your liking, to your taste. But now I've got a social post. Now this is definitely, this would be considered microblogging. So that's supporting content. This is a little richer than just hey, 2029 or 2020 at the Galway International Arts Festival, right? It's a little more there's some urgency to contact me. And there's a little more story here. So this supporting content will support my whole universe of content. So doing all of this essentially in one 90-minute block, you could create a couple of blog posts, a pillar page supporting page, or sorry, pillar page supporting content, and have that be additional blog posts and social posts. I can create 3 social posts probably on Galway International Arts Festival and schedule those to deploy over a period of time. So I'm just building this library of content. And some of these same, especially with annual events, I can just repurpose these year after year, tweak them a little bit, but I very minimal lift for me to create a content plan for my blog that is based on my core topic or core topics, depending on your business, and my pillar pages and my supporting content. I I would hope that everybody would feel like that was pretty fast. And yes, please infuse your personal style in this. That is extremely important. Infuse your personal take. If ChatGPT or Grammarly doesn't quite write it the way you want to write it, be a phenomenal editor. Edit it to be what you want it to be. Infuse your hashtags. And you're going to infuse, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Infuse your photos, your personality. You want to make sure that that always shines through. But oftentimes it's just getting started that's so hard. Oftentimes it's knowing you need to make a plan, but not even knowing where to start there and overcomplicating it. You download all these templates online, the content strategy planner, blah, blah, blah. Well, we just used ChatGPT to come up with a plan, and it came up with our pillar content, and it created supporting content really, really fast. So I hope that you saw how easy that was. And I hope that that will help you. I hope that got the wheels turning on how you can pull all this together to really up your game when it comes to your content marketing. It is so, so important. So we're at time. So I'd like to ask, what is something that you got out of today's session that you're going to apply to the next 7 days? And while you're dropping that in the Q&A, I just want to remind everybody here most Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And of course, the recording is available on our YouTube channel. Just search World Via Travel Quest, World Via Travel Network. We just reconfigured our brand there, World Via Travel Network, and you'll find all the past episodes of Travel Marketeering. Next week's session is going to be crafting a social media content strategy for increased engagement. So think about what we just did with ChatGPT and creating the social post. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get a little more into creating that plan and scheduling the posts, and how you can make that a lot easier. So that's going to be happening. And then also search Travel Marketeer, not Travel Marketeering, Travel Marketeer on Facebook, and you'll find our private group. Please join that. Me and my team are building that page, and we're creating some cool things for you for that community. But we'd love to have you in there. So I'm going to pop over here. Danielle said, great information. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you for joining. Angela said, my aha moment was that I need to have a structured and cohesive plan and not just post to post. Yes, posting on daily, weekly, whatever, is not a strategy. So love it. Deborah said, definitely got the wheels turning. We'll be using ChatGPT to help with planning a European trip for a client for next June. Yeah, so use it as inspiration and then fill it in with all the colors of you and your knowledge and expertise. Anne-Marie's going to work more with the AI tools. I love it. Danielle's going to start her planning with the AI tools, and maybe not in the next 7 days because she's coming to our headquarters in Roswell on Monday for our immersions. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you, Daniela. We got quite a few people coming. It's going to be a fun time. Can't wait to see you. Carol said, I signed up for Grammarly today. I'm going to look into WorldVia website and see about moving from my page, my one page from GoDaddy site. Yeah, you're going to love our sites tool. So definitely check it out. Deborah said, need to get my website up and running. Carol, thank you. Loving these sessions on Saturdays. I'm so glad that you joined. Catherine will be setting up the next month of blogs. Love it. Megan, this was my first time joining this. Welcome. Already working on my social media, and we'll be adding a blog soon. And Christine saying, me too, Daniela. She's going to be here for the immersions. And Althea said, I'm feeling very inspired. I'm going to work on my blog plan. I really appreciate these sessions. I love the idea of how these blog posts are connected. Yes, the web, your dynamic and rich web. I love it. I'm hoping to get my website published next week. Just signed up for Grammarly during this session. I should have gotten a commission from Grammarly for that. I love it. And Catherine's going to be here for the group immersion. Wow, we're going to have a lot of people live and in person. You guys have to come see my Disney castles. You guys have to come see them. Wanda said, thank you. I enjoyed the session. And Wanda, thank you for joining. Everybody, thank you for taking this time out today to join me live, or if you just took those 90 minutes to watch us on the recording, I appreciate you joining. Please, if you guys have any questions or you have any feedback, email me, joshua@worldvia.com. I promise that is me and not a robot. Although I do have a wonderful assistant, Alyssa, who jumps in from time to time. But yes, please reach out if you have any questions, or if there's a topic that you want me to go over. It might be something that we can put into the Facebook group, or we build a whole session around. But at the end of the day, I just want everyone to know that you are a travel marketeer. And I salute you, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. So I will see you next week. Remember, we're going to be doing social media content strategy for increased engagement. So I hope to see you there live. All right, take care. Bye now.